13.
Good morning. So first, I want to reassure the community that 19-year-old Ezekial Kelly is in fact in custody.
Words that I know a lot of people just sighed of relief last night. We are continuing to follow that breaking news. A deadly mobile mass shooting in Memphis, leaving 4 dead and 3 hurt. Some really just terrifying hours yesterday that put our city on lockdown for several hours. Police do say 19-year-old Ezekial Kelly went on a random shooting spree. They finally arrested him near Ivan and Hodge Roads in Whitehaven. But court records show Kelly already had an arrest warrant out for him for murder charges before that shooting spree even happened. Police say he shot and killed a 24-year-old man early yesterday morning in Binghamton. Before they say he randomly started shooting across Memphis for hours, even sharing videos of that rampage on social media. And we are going to break down exactly where all of those crime scenes happened, but it all came to an end about 5 hours later. Our Lakita Johnson is live at 2:01 this morning with more on the possible charges Kelly is likely to face. Good morning, Lakita.
Good morning. After a really scary night, that 19-year-old is behind bars again. Now, court records show that he has a criminal history that extends back to 2020. And everything that happened yesterday, well, we're still waiting to see what those charges are that he will face. But back in February of 2020, he faced several charges, including murder and aggravated assault. He went to jail, but he didn't serve all his time. And fast forward to this year, Kelly faces more charges after police say he went on that shooting rampage yesterday, killing 4 people. Mayor Jim Strickland speaking directly to his history. Take a listen.
Ezekial Kelly was charged with criminal attempted first-degree murder, but pled guilty in April of 2021 to the lesser charge of aggravated assault. He was sentenced to 3 years, but only served 11 months in prison and was released on March 16, 2022, less than 6 months ago.
Now, unfortunately, Aaron, this is the second time this week that we've seen repeat offenders get out of jail early, only to end up right back here at 201 again. As a matter of fact, Cleota Henderson, who was accused of killing jogger and school teacher Eliza Fletcher, got out of prison early as well. He'll have another appearance today. We'll keep you updated with the more details that we receive. For now in Memphis, I'm Lakita Johnson. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Lakita. It certainly makes you look at our justice system. Police say Kelly is responsible for at least 8 crime scenes in the Memphis area, starting north of town, going into Midtown, even crossing state lines into South Haven before ending in Whitehaven. Our Richard Ransom breaks it all down for us.
The timeline involves at least 8 different crime scenes, 7 shooting victims, 4 of them killed, all by one man, police say. They say Kelly's shooting rampage started early Wednesday morning at 12:56 a.m. in the 3100 block of Lindale in North Memphis, where they say Kelly killed his first victim. Several hours passed, and at 4:38 p.m. in the 900 block of South Parkway East, another man was shot and killed. 2 minutes later, on Norris Road and I-240, a woman was shot but not seriously hurt. Then at 5:59 p.m. in Raleigh, they say Kelly went on Facebook Live, walked into an AutoZone store on Jackson Avenue, and shot a man who's now being treated at Regional 1. 13 minutes later, at 6:12, police get a call from a citizen telling them about the shooting that was on Facebook. Well, it wasn't long after that when MPD decided the city needed to shelter in place. Restaurants, churches, even baseball stadiums basically on lockdown. At 7:23 at Poplar and North Evergreen, the third killing of the day, a female who was shot and killed. Just 1 minute later at Poplar and McLean, a man shot who we're told is in non-critical condition. That's when Kelly went from Midtown to south of the city At 8:55, police say he shot and killed a woman in the 800 block of West Rains. They say it would be Kelly's last murder victim, but not his last crime, because at 8:56 he was in South Haven, committing a carjacking, they say, stealing the gray Challenger the cops would spot 2 minutes later as they chased it back into Tennessee. At 9:20, MPD posted they found Kelly at Hodge and Ivan Roads in Whitehaven. A violent day that had a whole city in fear, finally over, but so many questions remain unanswered. In Memphis, I'm Richard Ransom.
Definitely terrifying hours there. Unfortunately, with all of this chaos unfolding, there was a lot of misinformation coming out online. So we do want to help you separate fact from fiction. Let's start with what we know so far. There were 8 scenes. 4 people are dead this morning and 3 are hurt. That shooting spree started around 4:30 yesterday evening. But nearly 2 hours later, just after 6, is when Memphis police decided it was an active situation. It was around 7 when they alerted the public. They say the suspect stole at least 2 cars before that spree ended in Whitehaven just before 9:30 last night. Now, during all of this, people on social media were saying that the suspect jumped into the Mississippi River from the I-55 bridge. You're looking at video from that scene yesterday. Now, we know someone did jump off the bridge, but it wasn't the suspected shooter. What happened there was completely unrelated to the shooting spree. Well, this is a tough time for all of us in Memphis. I know how I felt seeing Memphis police tweet that there was an active shooter and they didn't know where he was. It was really frightening. And this is coming just days after a senseless act of violence already rocked our community. Well, now our Mid-South leaders are sharing their thoughts on what happened. Rudy Williams is sharing their reactions.
And more expressions of concern and love for the city of Memphis after Wednesday's deadly crime spree. We start with one of the first ones we received from Senator Marsha Blackburn. She says, "My team and I are aware of the situation unfolding across Memphis. Please stay vigilant and follow the guidance of local officials and Memphis Police Department. We are praying for all those impacted." Next, Representative Tory Harris from Memphis. He says, "Memphis, while Ezekiel Kelly has been arrested, the tragedy of the victims, Memphis residents, law enforcement establishments, and businesses that were directly or indirectly affected will have a lasting impact from today's events." And finally, from State Senator, that is, Rumesh Agberry. She says, "My Lord, it's over. Memphis, our city. We're tired. We're exhausted. There's been so much loss, too many families grieving. There is so much good in the city that's being overshadowed by evil. So much light being threatened by darkness." In the days to come, there will be more expressions of concern and love for the city of Memphis as we heal from this tragedy.
It's going to take some healing, Rudy. Also, more security will be at Southwind High School this morning. This comes after a social media post circulated concerning the school's safety. Southwind Principal John Bush posted on Facebook last night telling parents and students that law enforcement is handling it. But unfortunately, this is all related because the post said that the shooting spree yesterday inspired them. Well, that shooting rampage also causing the University of Memphis to be on high alert yet again this week. This comes days after Memphis jogger and teacher Eliza Fletcher was abducted near campus and later killed. Our Jay Shakur spoke with students about their thoughts on campus safety.
I'm here at the University of Memphis where shots were fired last night near Patterson and Southern during that tragic shooting spree. Though the university itself was not under threat, U of M did tell students to shelter in place, only lifting that order after the suspect Ezekiel Kelly was in custody. I spoke to some students on campus about how they felt in that moment, and here's what they said.
I was scared, nervous, not knowing what's going on, and didn't know how to act. Like, I just hid though. Hid up under my bed.
I first heard about it while I was over in another dormitory. So when I was walking out, like, okay, I'm finna go back to my dorm. It's getting a little unsafe. They was like, no, we're on lockdown. I'm like, I ain't never seen this before. Coming from being in Mobile, it's a lot of things that are different. So this is kind of like nerve-wracking to me because, like, I'm 5 rows away from everyone. Can't nobody get to me if something was to happen. So and if you was to ask me, do I feel safe on campus, I would tell you no.
And as you can imagine, there's a great sense of relief from those students I've talked to now knowing that the suspect is in custody. At the University of Memphis, I'm Jay Shakur.
I can imagine how those students are feeling after this week. Well, today we should expect even more developments to come out in this case, but you can follow right along with us here on air, also online on abc24.com. But remember that you can also get those alerts that come into our newsroom right to your phone. You can download our free ABC24 app in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store. You can also text us to the number on your screen. It's 901-321-7520, and we'll send those updates right to your phone. Time now, 6:11. The man accused of killing Memphis teacher Eliza Fletcher will be back in court this morning, this time to talk about his legal counsel. He had a second court appearance yesterday, and that's when we learned that Cleotha Abston isn't his legal name. The judge says his last name is really Henderson, and that's how he'll be referred to from now on. The judge also revoked a previous bond of more than $500,000, meaning Henderson will be staying behind bars. After all of the trauma our community has faced this week, today Baptist Memorial and Living Hope Productions are sponsoring a free mental health event. National Black Male Mental Health Tour called Just Heal Bro will focus on healing, led by Black men who are experts in that area. The event is this evening at 7 at the University of Memphis Michael D. Rose Theater. Statistics show that suicide is the third leading cause of death in Black teens between 15 and 19, and the second leading cause of death in Black youth 10 to 14. And Black adults, 20% more likely to experience mental health issues than the rest of the population. All right, coming up, we will